You don't want to end up like the spokesman for Subway, do you?
Did you just use a term that excludes women from an occupation?
Okay, let's back up.
Ah! Did you just say spokesman instead of spokesperson when women are just as capable of selling sandwiches as anyone? Are you purposefully trying to use words that assert your male privilege?
What up, guys? This is Wes here.
Well, thank you for the introduction there, Fatal J. Obviously, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the latest announcement from Valiant Comics, The Harbinger, and how it could be a harbinger for going more woke in 2021 for Valiant Comics. Obviously, I do have a co-host here with me today. It is Fatal J himself, a Valiant Comics head from back in the day. He has been reading Valiant in quite a while, but we'll see if the newest information from Valiant Comics about the Harbinger is going to bring him back. And of course, we will talk about the artist on that series, Butthole Boy, Robbi Rodriguez, the man who sent unedited pictures of his anus to Ethan Van Sciver on Twitter for everyone to see is the artist. So we'll get into that as well. How you doing, Fatal Jake? Welcome back to the chat.
I am here.
You are here, and it's most excellent. I do want to say, if this is your first time, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this content, give us a thumbs down if you don't. Let your voices be heard. If you want more content about this, you want more information about Valiant, Fatal J and I will bring it to you if that's what you want. You got to let us know in the comment section now. All right, so Fatal J, I have been covering Valiant Comics for a very long time on the channel. I am a huge Valiant Comics reader, specifically when they relaunched in 2011, 2012, somewhere around there, with Dinesh Shamdasani. It was the best shared comic universe I've ever personally read. Everything about it was amazing until they kind of forced Dinesh to sell in 2017. It was a Chinese entertainment company called, I believe it's DMG Entertainment, because the Bloodshot movie was coming out. And it's been on a downward trajectory ever since. And today's latest information does not portend. It is not a harbinger of good things in the future. I'm going to say that. So Valiant is relaunching The Harbinger as a comic series. I think if you've read Valiant in the past, Harbinger is essentially like Valiant Comics X-Men.
Yep.
It's a team book, but this will not be a team comic. This is going to basically focus on one character, and that is going to be Peter Stanchek. And I remember him from Harbinger Wars, and he was like a rogue psyop that was going around, and he was triggering preteen psyops and like triggering their powers early. And it was really evil. I don't think he was supposed to be the bad guy, but that's how I took it.
Okay, see, because back in the day when I read Harbinger, it was back when it was a group of teens. They even had a flying car. Their main character was a guy named Sting, and he was going.
That is Peter Stanchek.
Oh, okay, that's the same guy. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I might be interested in this one.
So in Harbinger Wars, that character went rogue, and he was going and finding a bunch of psyops that hadn't turned yet, and he was kind of turning them on. So that's the character that they're going to focus on. The creative team is Jackson Lanzing and Collin Kelly are going to be the writers, and Robbi Rodriguez, who we'll talk about here in a few minutes, Butthole Boy himself, is going to be the artist. All right, Fatal J, this is how they're selling this comic book. This is what Jackson Lanzing had to say. The Harbinger is the next big step forward in the Valiant universe, and Peter Stanchek's promised rebirth as a hero, a leader, and a revolutionary. It's unapologetic in its politics, diverse in its cast, and intimate in its drama. Collin and I love to tell stories that balance character deconstruction and social analysis, and there's no one in comics who needs a little deconstruction and social awareness more than old Peter. When Collin, Jackson, and I first started mapping out this project, we weren't expecting the themes we are tackling to be relevant in our own lives as they have become, stated Robbi Rodriguez, Butthole Boy himself. As we see everyone facing more each day, people can feel a change is coming. It makes it all more fitting that it's called Harbinger, the herald of change. And I think this is a harbinger. I do think it is a herald of change. That Valiant Comics is somehow going to go even more woke this year. What do you think about this? Is now the time that you want politics more than ever in your comic books? Is it character deconstruction that you're just craving, Fatal J?
I'm sick of this crap, and I'm gonna be honest with you. when you was describing that, I heard those SJW trigger words, diverse, and all that crap, book politics. I don't want to read that. I can remember back in the day when Stan Lee would express in X-Men comic books how we should all get along, how X-Men represent everybody's different, but we all the same. Everything needs to be peaceful. We need to love one another. I'm sick of this type of crap. When did this enter into comic books? All this PC political SJW crap.
It's been the last decade or so. I think it's so weird that they're like, it's a diverse cast. Harbinger has always been a diverse cast.
Yes, it has.
It launched in the 90s. So it was relaunched in 2011 or 2012 under Joshua Dicer.
When you hear diverse,
it's a code word.
It's a code word. It's a code word. It's a code word, most definitely. So I was hyped up before you start reading that description, and now I'm not.
Wouldn't you know it? The own creators of Harbinger himself are the ones turning people off to the series. Obviously, some people are going to read this, but Valiant Comics is not in a good way. The sales have been trending downward. We'll get into a little bit of the history here in a minute, but let's get into the selection of artists.
Okay.
There are many comic book artists out there that need work. They're out of work right now. They probably could they have their choice of comic book artists right now. It's not a better time to decide to launch a comic book with a little bit of coin that you can throw the artist's way, because a lot of them need work right now. Robbi Rodriguez is literally the only comic book artist in the entire industry that I know of that literally tweeted unedited pictures of his anus to another comic book professional over politics. And yet this is the person that they decide that they want to hire.
Some people call it politics. Other people call it having a crush on somebody. And sir, what was the reason why you did that? That was not making a statement.
He doesn't like Ethan Van Sciver, and he certainly doesn't like comicsgate. And I believe that's what
I don't like a lot of people, but guess what? I'm not going to send those type of pictures to the people I don't like. Okay?
Wow. Yeah, normal people don't send unedited pictures of their cornhole to people that they don't like. They just, you ignore them. If they say something about you, maybe you counterpoint. But for the most part, if you're a fully functioning, healthy adult, you just kind of turn the other cheek and go live your life.
Wes, he said turn your cheek. Yes, most definitely in this situation.
Turn the butt cheek.
But at the most, I'm going to at least TP their house, or I don't know, just do something crazy like a prank, but I'm not going to go that far. Okay?
Don't you think that's telling that of all the artists out there, they can have their pick of the litter, because there's so many artists available right now due to the shrinking down of the industry and production, that they decided to choose this. It has to be on purpose, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. They have a lot of arrows out towards EVS. He's a big threat to these people. And I'm looking at it as this. Instead of looking at this guy as a threat, take notes for what he's doing. Because if he's making this much of noise without a big company behind him, if you get with a guy like this, he will bring sales up. It's just Fatal J, though. Fatal J don't know much.
Yeah, so obviously, it's on purpose. I'll never understand it. Like the dude literally did one of the most unprofessional acts I've ever seen. Yet he keeps getting rewarded work. He obviously, he was just illustrating Batgirl at DC Comics. And now he's moving on to the Harbinger.
Wes, this is their number one poster guy. This represents the SJW right there.
Oh yeah, the
blue hair, sending pictures to people in comicsgate. It's crazy, man.
It is crazy. And Valiant, like I said, has been on a really, really big downturn. Now, the original sin was when DMG Entertainment ousted Dinesh Shamdasani, and they decided to take things over because they wanted control of the Sony Bloodshot movie. Or I guess they wanted to have some input. But really, patient zero in the downfall of Valiant is when they decided to bring Heather Antos of the Milkshake fame on board as an editor. She'd been basically discarded by Marvel, went into like esports betting or something, and Valiant brought her back and I'll never understand why. She had made such a terrible editor over at Marvel Comics on the Star Wars lines or whatever. But she was supposed to come in and bring in, she had a Rolodex of talent. And she's basically brought in a litany of past or prime creators, but nobody exciting other than maybe Dan Abnett and Tim Seeley and who's the other one? Brett Booth. Brett Booth's absolutely the biggest acquisition. I don't even know if she had anything to do with that part.
Brett Booth, the artist?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
He did Bloodshot with Tim Seeley. But
yeah, that's right. I read that. That was good.
The sales were declining after Dinesh left because the universe sucked and the stories weren't good. And as soon as they brought in Heather and she brought in all these past or prime, anti-comicsgate, anti-fan creators, the sales have plummeted even more. And it's too bad. Like, I love Valiant Comics. I love the characters. It's such a wonderful shared world. And this, do you remember Heather Antos and her milkshake incident?
No, but I would like to know. Can you please?
She was an editor at Marvel, and her girls from the office went out and they had like a milkshake thing to celebrate. Not celebrate. To
I remember that.
A famous woman within the industry. Yeah. And I believe your boy Zach from Diversity in Comics Now, I think it's Comics Matter with your boy Zach, said she was a fake geek girl and she cried outrage. It was the biggest controversy, but she had been offended. She'd been aggrieved and made a huge deal about it and basically turned his channel into a phenomenon. And, now he made all that money and he's publishing comic books that outsell Valiant, which is kind of ridiculously and kind of embarrassing for Heather and everyone involved with Valiant. But certainly good for Zach, and it turned out he was a good voice. But then, as soon as she arrived, like this is I think the first project they announced, Cyborgs. And of course, what's the first thing you think when you see that?
They ruined Cyborgs, man.
Yeah,
I used to read this joint back in the day.
So if you look at the characters, the guy on the right with the glasses looks like Chuck Wendig. The lady on the left looks like Michael Burnham from Star Trek Discovery, and the one in the middle of the lady, that looks like Rey from Star Wars. I'm still not sure who the dude at the top is.
The black chick do look like Michael Burnham.
Yes. It is obviously on purpose. It is like, what can we do to piss off comic fans? Let's make the most soyed out team we could ever put into Cyborgs and see if it gets attention. Obviously, everyone made fun of it.
Wes, this is what I can't understand for the life of me. They're ruining these comics. They ruining the money. The money is they losing so much money, man. Like
to own comic fans.
Yeah. Why is you putting all this political crap in here?
This
people don't like it.
It's soy-based imagery.
Who wants to read that?
I read the first issue and it wasn't nearly as bad as the covers look, but this was one of the first big announcements that they made after Heather came on board. And then two of the big creators that she had hired early on the left, that is B. Clay Moore with The Killers, which was a replacement for Ninja K. And on the right, that is Mags Visaggio with Dr. Mirage as a writer for that. Now, obviously, B. Clay Moore is famous because he was in a Facebook private room and he said that he wanted, because he knew Zach or Richard Meyer, Zach, whatever you want to call him, was going to be, I believe, New York City Comic Con. He knew he was going to be there. He wanted to confront him, trigger his PTSD so he would deck him, and that way he could get him arrested. And it didn't work. It got exposed. But he ended up trying to do that in real life with Captain Cummings. I believe he has the 10 cent story now as his YouTube channel, or maybe it's Wow's. But he actually confronted him on the street, tried to trigger his. He didn't take the bait either, but he did record a video, made him look like an idiot. And Mags Visaggio, I'll be honest, Richard went too far with the videos about Mags, but she also went too far with her reactions. And she also said that she wanted to hit what's the word? Every cis person in America in the face with a baseball bat because transgender people couldn't join the military, as if Mags Visaggio wanted to join the army.
Yeah. And I've been at the game for too long, Wes, because Dr. Mirage is a woman now?
Yes. It's actually a pretty decent character. Her husband's like a dead ghost that she can commune with and everything. I like the character.
Yeah, but Dr. Mirage used to be like he used to be on some Dr. Manhattan type stuff, you know?
Not anymore.
Okay, now Killers, that's the new Ninja K, Ninja.
It was the spinoff of Ninja K. Remember I said Ninja K? It's not Ninjak anymore because he's Ninja K. The Killers is like a mini series about like Ninja, like H, J, something like that. And one of them is this black ninja with the big afro.
All right, I might try
cool.
that.
I liked all the stories that
Wes, you know I'm big on kung fu, martial arts, ninjutsu, all that stuff. So I'll give it a try. But when you describing these people to me, I can remember back in the day, people like us, when we picked up comic books, they used to call us dweebs. But you know what? These are the real dweebs, man. Picking fights with people.
Social justice dweebs.
But I think what it is, though, they try to hide the fact that they're not talented.
They are not talented. That's the issue.
They tried to hide the fact that they don't know nothing about comic books and what the comic book readers want. So their defense is, let me start some drama to get them off of thinking I know what I don't know what I do. I don't know what I'm
just
doing.
Prejudiced. I'm actually talented.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, it's also interesting. B. Clay Moore here on the left. I think he still has a Kickstarter campaign. It might be 6 years late. Called, I think, Big Hawaiian Dick or something like that. It's about a detective. And I think he raised $20,000 to $30,000, and no one's ever received a book. And that's where Captain Cummings actually did get his refund when he confronted him on the streets and tried to get him to punch him, because he literally just come back from Afghanistan. Isn't that disgusting? He was with his wife on a date, just got back from Afghanistan, and this guy like accosted him on the streets to try to get him to punch him.
Dweebs, man. The real ones. These are the real ones, man.
But these are the people that Valiant Comics have brought on board since 2017, since they brought Heather Antos on board as an editor, and it's absolutely destroyed Valiant Comics. And now we're getting the Harbinger, and it's going to be unapologetic in its politics and its diverse cast and all the buzzwords that you could ever want. And I don't know, man. Am I off base here, Jay? Or do you think Valiant Comics is going even more woke in 2021?
Man, it sounds like it. It sounds like it. And I want to give Harbinger a try, but I'm telling you, if I can't make it half the comic book, I'm ripping it to shreds.
You should put it on video. People would love to see it.
Okay, I'm gonna do that because I want to start doing comic book reviews on my channel. So you might just get that
once. He took a comic book and he froze it in a block of ice so he could cut it with a saw.
Oh, well, you know, I got a machete. I can slice and dice. Yeah.
Turn it into a salad.
Yeah.
But if I were you, I would just go read Harbinger starting 2011, 2012 from Joshua Dysart. Much better, leads right into Harbinger Wars, which is a great event. And you also go read Ninja K, Exo Man of War, and all the good stuff.
Well, Wes, one more thing real quick. I did leave Valiant for a while, and then I picked up Ninjak versus Valiant Comics, and that was a good read. So they not on that?
Ninja K versus the Valiant Comics universe? That was a digital-only comic.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one came out a couple years ago.
Okay.
So, all right, folks, what do you think? Are Jay and I right? Are Valiant Comics going more woke in 2021? Are you excited for more politics in your comic books? Is now the perfect time for a political comic book? Do you want even more diverse casts, even though Harbinger was literally diverse from the day it launched? Are you in search of intimate dramas and character deconstruction and social analysis? Or do you just want, like Fatal J and myself, good comic books with heroes winning and bad guys doing bad stuff, and just give us some action? You know what I'm saying, Jay?
And these dudes are perverted, man. It's so sad.
Yeah, send in unedited butthole pics.
Yeah, and then you said the Detective Dick guy. I mean, come on.
I think that was the name of the comic, but I don't know. There was some type of controversy, like maybe he didn't have the rights to actually make that book. But I don't know. Those people that gave him the money, they got ripped off. He's never going to fulfill that campaign.
Good.
As far as I know.
Good.
All right. Thanks, Lady Jay. I'll talk to you later, brother.
Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.